Hello, everybody. How are you? This is Yannick Bro directly from CNN Channel. Today, in Coffee Show, to learn more about history, we're going to receive an old man who is going to talk about his life. His name is Takata Chen. He's a Chinese American. He's 81 years old, and today he celebrates his 65 years in America. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello.
Have a seat, have a seat. So today you are going to explain to us how was situation in Angel Island. The 1 million immigrant from 90 countries between 1910 and 1940. But first tell us, why did you want to have a new life in the United States of America?
I had a lot of reasons to go in America. There, in China, my family was very poor. My life conditions were worse that you can even imagine. We had not enough food for all the family. So, when it was no more possible to live in these conditions, I decided to take the first fleet to go to America. For all Chinese people, America was like the perfect place to live. We named it the Gondel Mountains. But when I arrived there, it was much more complicated.
And how long did you stay there?
If I remember well, I stayed exactly 3 months and 2 days. We couldn't do anything. It was just horrible. We were just waiting to be free from there.
And after the long trip you did to arrive in America, how was the disembarking?
For us, the first stop we did after the arrival was administration building. Man was separated from women and children. It was horrible to see that. Then we passed it to medical exams, and it was a humiliating experience for all of us. A lot of people was crying. I was too, and we also tested for parasitic infections. I'm so sorry. If we failed this test, we risked hospitalization, or worse, like deportation. It was horrible, really very complicated for me. So I wait very long hours there, a lot of hours, and this was to pass the interrogations, long interrogations, and you can imagine how stressed out I was, very stressed out. During more than months, yeah, my 3 months, I wait a lot of time there. Every day was hours of waiting.
Just a bit more about this place. How were the conditions?
You just can't imagine how horrible it was. It was these 3 months was just waiting, waiting, and waiting. As I said, we had also interrogations. Every day we had the same kind of interrogations. So I was scared every day, worried, because this kind of things you don't know if you're gonna stay there or come back to your country. For me, it's China. I just, I just it's complicated. Sorry. I felt nervous. In fact, I just felt l- left out.
And did you ever return to Angel Island since you're 16 years old?
Yes, I remember. I returned 2 years ago.
Ah, yes, but why?
It was for a reason very particular. It was to remember, yes, to remember. The and the only thing to do there was to write poetry. Yeah, there I like to write poetry there.
And how did you do that?
On the walls because it was like a prison there. We couldn't do anything. So I like to take a pen and write poetry. Right? Remembering all that I had in China that I lost when I arrived there.
And what were the sensations when you read the poems?
You love it, lot of emotion, lot of emotions. When I came back 3 years ago, I read those poems, and it was for me exceptional. Something I cried a lot.
But it was good or bad memories?
Bad memories, bad memories. Yes, bad memories. Because when it's a part of your life, you just have to remember. You just have to remember. And the only way to remember is to come back to see what you did. I don't regret to have come back there. It was something very good for me, very good for me, because I think it's a it's a step.
And thank you very much to have told us a part of your life. It was very interesting, and I think it's very important for all Americans to know that history, because it's also America's history.
Of course, of course, you have to remember the good thing that America did, but also the bad things. And I think it's one of the best things, but it's important to know all of that to grow up in the future.
To not repeat the same mistakes. I hope you enjoyed the interview with Takata Chen. For me, I have to tell you, I like a lot to talk to this very kind man who have passed through a very difficult childhood. And we can conclude that Angel Island wasn't a good thing that we did, but remembering that, we won't repeat the same mistakes. See you next week for a new passionate interview with Luigi Ottaviano, who's going to talk about his childhood in New York and the conditions in Ellis Island.
Mamma mia, it was horrible.